7-part series. Will you be judged by the 10 Commandments? Episode 1, The Final Standard, God's Law on Trial. What will be the standard on Judgment Day? Is it man's opinion, church tradition, or something higher? The Bible gives a sobering answer. God will judge every soul based on his unchanging law, the 10 Commandments. This truth, though unpopular, is eternal. Let's begin with the words of James 2:10-12. Whosoever shall keep the whole law, and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. So speak ye, and so do, as they that shall be judged by the law of liberty. James isn't talking about any ordinary law. In context, he names 2 commandments: do not commit adultery, and do not kill, both found in the 10 Commandments. He then says, we will be judged by this law. That's not symbolic or optional. That's a courtroom verdict. The 10 Commandments are not outdated rules from Mount Sinai. They are heaven's eternal moral constitution. Now pause and reflect. If God is going to judge you by the 10 Commandments, how well do you measure up? Let's take just a few. Have you ever lied, even a small white lie? Have you ever coveted something that wasn't yours? Have you ever used God's name in vain? Have you ever dishonored your parents? If you've broken even one, the Bible says you're guilty of all. Why? Because the law isn't a buffet. It's one whole unit, a perfect reflection of God's holy character. This is not just an Old Testament idea. Romans 3:20 says, by the law is the knowledge of sin. And 1 John 3:4 defines sin this way. Sin is the transgression of the law. In other words, without the 10 Commandments, there is no clear definition of sin. The law exposes sin like a mirror reveals dirt on your face. And on Judgment Day, God will use that mirror to reveal the true condition of every soul. Ecclesiastes 12:13-14 is crystal clear. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man, for God shall bring every work into judgment. So here's the million-dollar question. If you died tonight, could you stand before God and say, I have kept your commandments, not just in letter but in spirit? Jesus went even deeper. In Matthew 5:21-22, he said that hatred in the heart is murder in God's eyes. Lust is adultery. You may not have broken the law physically, but the moment you broke it in your thoughts, you became guilty. God's judgment is not shallow. It's penetrating. It judges thoughts, motives, and intentions. Still think the 10 Commandments don't matter? Then consider Revelation 22:14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. Only commandment keepers will enter heaven, not because their obedience saves them, but because their obedience proves their faith was genuine. The law doesn't save you, but it will judge you. Jesus died because the law could not be changed. If the law could be abolished, then Christ died in vain. But the cross proves the law's eternal authority. He didn't come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. Matthew 5:17. This is your wake-up call. The judgment is not a fable. The law is not optional. And your salvation is not secured by ignoring it. Will you be judged by the 10 Commandments? Absolutely. So the question isn't, will I be judged, but will I be ready?